to Vibrant Living with Nousha. I'm Nousha, a former climber of the corporate ladder turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I'll bring you an inspiring message to support you in designing and creating a vibrant, fulfilling life. Thank you for joining me today. Now let's get started. Hello and welcome to Vibrant Living. I'm Nousha. Today's topic is financial health. You may recall in episode 1, or if you're listening for the very first time, in episode 1, I talk about the 5 pillars to enjoying optimum health. And this does include our physical health, as well as our emotional health, our mental health, our spiritual health, and finally, our financial health. And today we're going to dive deeper into the 5th pillar, our financial health, and ask ourselves the question, do I have a plan B? So my intention for today's conversation is to illustrate the importance of creating at least one or more streams of residual income. Now, most of us are taught to go to school, get a great education, and oftentimes to get even further education, a master's degree or a PhD, so that we can get a better job. And oftentimes we miss out on learning about other ways to create income, namely residual income. And I was actually given the opportunity to read this book, which I really love, and it's such a pleasure to share with you, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And bringing light to this whole concept of residual income. And as I read the book, I was drawn to asking 3 really important questions that you also may want to ask yourself. And the first question was, do I have the time flexibility to do the things that I love? And when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? The majority of my day is spent either getting ready for work, getting to work, working, getting home from work, and leaving very little time for me to enjoy my hobbies, friends, and time with family. And so my answer to that question was, no, I don't have, at that time when I asked these questions, I didn't have the time flexibility to enjoy my life fully. The second question I asked myself was, do I have the time flexibility to be with those that I love? And what I found was that I was spending a lot of time at work. Now, I like my coworkers. However, when I look at the time that I wanted to spend with my family, at the time my father was going through some health challenges, and it was important for me to be with him, I realized that that time wasn't there for me. And so my answer to that second question was also no, I didn't have the time flexibility to enjoy with my loved ones. And the third question I asked is, do I have another project that I can shift into during economic shifts? Now, this is a reality. I had asked these questions of myself about 7 years ago, and at that time the economy was going through some shifts. Now, more than ever today, the economy is going through even more drastic and dramatic changes. With technology advances, we are seeing things like, Blockbuster being dissolved as an organization overnight, and Netflix coming in. And for example, the whole industry of the cab drivers being eventually, I can see, taken over by Uber. And so these are just some of the examples of the big shifts that are occurring in our economy, and I took it upon myself to start creating some alternate plans. This was 7 years ago, so today it becomes even more important to do that. So if you answered no to any of these 3 questions, do I have the time flexibility to do the things that I love? Or do I have the time flexibility to be with those that I love? Or Do I have another project that I can shift into during economic shifts? If you answered no to any of those questions, then it will be important to learn about residual income, as I did 7 years ago. And so first, let's define residual income distinct from linear income. So linear income is the income where we put in a unit of work and we get paid in return. Now, we can get paid hourly, we can get paid annually, or we can get paid for a unit of work if we were a consultant. The thing with this way of earning money is that it is dependent on us always showing up. So if I decided that I wanted to take 3 months off and travel, I would not get paid for that entire 3 months unless I had 3 months vacation, which I didn't at the time, and most people don't. So this is linear income, and this is distinct from residual income. And residual income is an income that some examples are, for example, musicians, writers, actors. They put in a unit of work and they get paid over and over again for this. So actors, produce a movie, they star in a movie, and they get paid every time that movie is played. A great example is Michael Jackson. He did some beautiful work that still today his work is being played, and he is getting paid still. His estate still is creating a lot of income, even though he has passed. So this is residual income. Now, not all of us are actors or writers or singers, and so there are other options for us. And so let's talk about those options. So number one is real estate, is to invest in real estate and be able to rent out your unit to pay off your mortgage and hopefully make a little bit of residual extra for yourself. Now, this may not always work out to have some extra residual there, and then it becomes more of a long-term investment where you could eventually make some residual and even passive income once you've paid off your mortgage. So that's option number one. Option number two is investments. And there are lots of great investments out there. Yes, the market and the economy is very unstable. However, I believe that there's always opportunities out there. And this requires some education and also some awareness of the market to be able to do that effectively. So then the third option is to become an educator and a connector. And this is an option that is the lowest risk. It requires the lowest amount of capital. And thirdly, it's super exciting because you actually get to be a contribution in someone else's life. So I'll share more about this option because this is an option that I'm super passionate about, and I love sharing with people who are looking for other ways to create sources of income. And so this option, if you think about it, you are out there consuming products and services that you love. And often friends will ask you for your opinion about these products and services, or what you like best, or what we're currently using. And you go ahead and share with them. And there are some certain products out there that will allow you to get paid for having shared their product or their service. And I will talk more about this profession and this industry in another episode. However, for now, I'll just share that it's an opportunity to monetize your lifestyle. So this is option number 3, and you can see that you do it all the time. You go to a great movie, and what do? You're going to share with your friends. And normally the movie theater doesn't give you a free movie or anything like that yet. That hasn't happened, but who knows? Maybe in the future it will. So that's just an example of being an educator and a connector. Now, if you want to learn more about this option, I personally wanted to learn more, and there's 2 books that I highly recommend that helped me on my journey to learning more. The first one is The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. And you can find this book on my website. Just go to NoushaBehbahanian.com, and under the resources section, you'll find the book. And the second book is The Business School for People Who Like Helping People. Again, you can find this on my website as well. And I also want to suggest a third book that encompasses all three of the options that I talked about: the real estate, the investments, and becoming an educator and a connector. And that is Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. Excellent book. Also, you can find on my website, NoushaBehbahanian.com. So I know that this has been useful for those of you that are learning about residual income for the very first time. And just know that you don't have to do this on your own. There's a huge community out there that can support you. Join our Facebook community, our Vibrant Living community. And if you haven't had a chance yet to download my 7-step checklist to designing your vibrant, fulfilling life, please do so. It's my gift to you. Enjoy it. Kickstart your shifts and your new adventures in a new direction, as I did 7 years ago. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you today. And until next time, let's be vibrant, be bright. It's our birthright. Now let's go out there and shine our light. Thank you for investing this time with me on the Vibrant Living with Nousha podcast. I'm so glad that you joined our conversation. If you would take 2 minutes to positively impact someone's life by sharing this episode, that would be wonderful. Please leave us a review by visiting iTunes. Let us know what you enjoy and what you'd like to see more of. It will support us on our journey to causing a worldwide epidemic of vibrant living. Until next time, be vibrant, be bright. It's your birthright. Now, let's go out there and shine